Namaskar and good afternoon. With me is Rahul Kapoor Jain. Welcome, welcome, welcome. 25th anniversary of Jain Society of Metropolitan Chicago. You are going to be talking this evening about a subject that has been given to you. You know, it's a very beautiful subject, very close to people, like living beautifully. So, Rahul, let's hear from you. Is it first time in Chicago?
Well, this is my third visit in Chicago, and I just keep loving the place here every time I get here.
Midwest is known for the warmth. Midwest is known for the people, the love and affection, I think. And this temple, since you just came in yesterday, so let's hear two visits of yours and what you're expecting today. Means how it has been so far. The yesterday evening, I think the governor was here yesterday evening here for their convention because they had 10 days of event going on.
Yes, I mean it's been fabulous. Like I said, the city just keeps growing on me, and I think it's just wonderful to kind of keep having so many people connected, and the numbers just keep increasing, because I think. The amount of love and affection that kind of you get from this place, and more so because of this place, I think this is like it has some kind of magnetic energy that just keeps getting people in, and their love just expands exponentially. And that's what happened yesterday evening as well, when the governor himself was talking, and he made attempts, quite a few attempts, to use Jain words like Jai Jinendra, and he used words of Pran Pratishtha. But I think what was important is when he spoke of the word ahimsa, and the connotation and the context in which he spoke, and he said that he's proud to announce yesterday, that was 29th, as the Ahimsa Day. So I think that really speaks volumes of what this place is doing, what the people of this faith does, and I think perhaps if there is one solution to the world's problems, it should be non-violence, and Ahimsa rightly is the word that the governor himself used yesterday, yes.
Last day of June 30th, 2018. 6 months already over, six more to go. Time is flying like anything. We just realized we were just saying Happy New Year, and then we are ready to say Happy New Year after 6 months. So, coming from Bharat and seeing the youth here, because you have interacted more with them, so what do you definitely see, like, what needs to be done, like, to preserve our heritage? I think the kids here, they're doing much wonderful job. Why the big laugh?
No, yes, I mean, I think everybody in that sense. So if you really look at India per se, you spoke about the fact that हम भारतीयपन को कैसे जागरूक रखें. How do you keep ensuring this, that you keep the Indianness alive wherever you go? And I think one of the ways of doing that, many ways of doing that, one of them is through cultural centers like these. It's networking, it's having the bond with people. It's about coming and learning from each other, and then trying to take these values back to your workplace, back to your homes, and more importantly, start internalizing them. And I think as far as we do that, we're good. And I think the last 10 days have been absolutely phenomenal, because people have come here to try and inculcate the values of Jainism, so propounded by Mahavir, and I think the youth is doing a fantastic job of that.
Let me ask you one thing. You come here, you've come twice before, you mentioned. You go back because you take things, we individuals, not we, means you, take things for granted. Like coming from Bharat, like, you know, because going to a temple is like, you know. So what do you take back home, the message, like when because people must be asking you, Rahul, you were in Chicago, how the people are, how they behave. I think we live India more than people live in India.
Well, I've seen two parts of it, because I'm a real Bharatiya in some sense, because I do a lot of my work based on Indian scriptures, not just necessarily Jains, but also the other faiths, and I get a chance to interact with people in India tremendously, with huge number of people in one hall at a time. But when I come here, I see something different. What's going on in there right now is the interfaith dialogue. Need of the hour for sure. But what I also like is that you go slight. I mean, we have Jains obviously, and we have four sampradayas, as we call them, four sects. But what I like about this place is all four sects come together. You see Digambar Jain, and you see a Swetambar, and you see a Sthanak Vasi in a Terapanthi all together under one roof. Now that's beautiful. You won't get to see that in India. So I think as much as we all talk about interfaith, we talk about unity, sometimes in that faith itself, we are so divided. As the Christians are divided and the Muslims are divided and the we're also divided. But I think in a country like this, which could sometimes be actually that you have a problem of resource crunch, which is actually concern. But the way you put it together becomes your biggest strength. And I think that's really what I take back from here. It's about trying to find an opportunity in spite of your challenges, and then making that opportunity so powerful, so beautiful, that it actually talks about love, harmony, talks about joy, happiness, togetherness. So I think you guys are living really very well over here.
As we know, because history is in making, 1893, when the Parliament of World Religion happened, Swami Vivekananda came in here. You must have visited that place, like when he gave his address. And India has been boomed up, like people started recognizing him. And there was one Jain Muniji also with him. So he's the first one who came and was bearing the torch. And we need more peace at this very time. We are seeing how the world has been. So on a concluding note, what are you taking from Chicago with you to Bharat?
Right, so you were mentioning about Vishenji Gandhi, and you spoke about Vivekananda ji, both in the same breath. And I think this plays also talks about another lady who I am very impressed with, and that is Oprah Winfrey. Now, if I brought her in this conversation for a specific reason. So if you go back into the 80s and look at what Vivekananda ji did, was he upheld values. I'm speaking tonight on living your life in harmony, and he spoke of that when he used the word brothers and sisters of America. When Vishen Gandhi ji spoke in the same conference, or the same parliament, if I should say, he spoke of ahimsa, and he spoke about brotherhood and togetherness. But that's really what I think also Oprah Winfrey has done. She comes from a very challenging background, but the way she brought human beings together, the way she made the uncommon, the common people, and the way she brought about their lives in front of people, and the way she sent the message to people about grit, determination, about the need to challenge yourself and come out victorious from there. I think these have been some of those very powerful messages that this city of Chicago gives to the rest of the world. And what a unique combination. You have Indians coming from India into this country and giving the message, and you also have some really great Americans who have propounded the same theory of brotherhood, of grit and determination, which I think people have, like Oprah Winfrey has done. So I think, yeah, those are the messages I would like to take back to my country as well.
Thank you so very much. And this is the Epic Center, actually. I've interviewed so many people on this. I don't know, I always like to change, but it never happens. We wish you all the best and good luck, and looking forward to meet you. Thanks.
It's a pleasure talking to you, and you spoke about change. Well, change is an internal process. It takes a lot of time for it to come alive, because we are actually trying to challenge the belief system. And I think as far as we can do that, that belief system, which is so limiting in nature, I think when that happens, the behaviors change, and when behaviors change, life looks very different, very beautiful. And I'm really hoping that the change is going to be constant in all our lives as we all go ahead and look at reality and live in more awareness. And thank you very much.
Change is evolution too, because it has to go on. Like, nothing is permanent in this world. What has come has to go. So we should adapt and change for good, to be honest.
Absolutely. I've come and I want to go as well from Chicago. But then, well, it's been absolutely phenomenal talking to you. And I really hope that the viewers enjoy this conversation and have a couple of things to pick up from here.
We
Thanks
did like this. Thanks for your time.
Pleasure.
Thanks.
Thank you.